Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. We are coming towards the end of 2019, and I'm here to give you some of Tara's best business tips. As promised, I would get on here, show you, provide you with insight into those things that I utilize in my business to help me run productively and efficiently. So, as I said, it's the end of 2019. You might as well say less than 60 days left to the end of the year. So, with that in mind, I am preparing myself for Uncle Sam. Yes, tax time, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam is very important in our lives, right? He invades our space. So, with that, there are several things that I'm doing. One, I am getting my QuickBooks ready. Not really ready, but just making sure everything is in line. My accountant is always in the back of my QuickBooks, reconciling my books throughout the year. Also, I have to prepare a tax mileage document, something that I should do throughout the year, but as I'm going to show you, I have been very slack on that, so I have to prepare that document. And then three, looking to see who do I have to prepare 1099s for and getting that information in place. So I'm going to show you a little bit behind the scenes as far as like, what does that look like? Okay, so let me get my computer ready so that I can share with you those particular tools that you can utilize also in your business. So the first thing is the QuickBooks, right? So I have to get my QuickBooks. Let me show you how, back up a little bit. Let me show you how you can share your QuickBooks with your accountant. I highly recommend QuickBooks. If anyone that knows me, they know that I am a big supporter of having QuickBooks in my business. So QuickBooks does make your life a whole lot easier when it does come tax time. And how you add your accountant to that is that you'll go to manage users, and I hope that you all are seeing that. You're going to manage users. Then up at the top, you'll say accounting firms. As you can see, my accountant is already here, but if you wanted to invite your accounting firm, you click on invite. You put in all the information. Once you put in all the information, down here in the bottom right corner, the green button save will light up, and then you will hit save. They will receive an invitation to be in the background of your QuickBooks. And then, so what does he do? So he reconciles my books. So I'm going to click on that for you so that you can see. So here at the far left, you see accounting, and then there is reconcile. And so that's basically what he does. He reconciles my QuickBooks by putting in the date and stuff that he needs. Then he has access to my bank register that goes in, and this automatically loads up from my Wells Fargo account. So he will do that. And then he will also point out to me as far as like what it is that he may have questions to. And then this is all things that have been reconciled within my bank account. You can see some things there. So I am exposing myself to you. So that is one thing here that you can do. Again, it makes my life a lot easier for whenever it becomes tax time. He reconciles my books on a quarterly basis. I have it done quarterly. So one is that I'm only paying him 4 times a year to go in there. So I have a bookkeeper, and then I have the accountant. They both work for the same firm. The bookkeeper does all of the reconciliation behind the scenes, and then the accountant does my taxes and so forth. Also, I talked to you about mileage. Just to let you know that QuickBooks does have mileage. Clicking here to the left, I do not use the QuickBooks mileage only because you can't type that much information in there. And I like information as much details as possible. So I utilize what is called tax mileage, and I think I just took that off the screen. Yeah, so let me get that on the screen for you so that you can see that. But I love that because it definitely, I love it because one, there is an app. There is an app also for the one that comes with QuickBooks. But as you can see here, and hopefully this is still sharing with you. Yes, it is. So good. Just wanted to make sure, looking at the screen. Okay, so for 2019, haha, I have only posted 2 trips, right? So what does that mean? That means that I now manually have to go back through here and post all of my trips via my PC rather than doing it on every trip via my phone because there is an app for it. So luckily I document all of my appointments. Wherever I'm going with my business is always on my calendar. So basically I'm just going to manually put this in here. Okay, so you do need to fill out your profile on taxmileage.com, put in your vehicle, as I have put in my vehicle here. I drive a Ford Explorer. Once you fill in your profile information, then you'll be ready to go to add your trips. So I'm going to create a new trip. As you can see here are all of the trips that I have that are loaded in from 2018, 2019. There's one that I just recently did. Duh. So how do you add a new trip? Just click on the button New Trip. You make sure that your date is correct. Then after you put in your date, you're going to put in your reimbursement purpose, select your vehicle. You always have to select the vehicle, or else you have to select all of these buttons or nothing is going to go through. So I only have one vehicle listed here, my Explorer, so I would click on that. Then you put your destination. Where did you go? So here I would put Washington, D.C. or Fairfax, Virginia, whatever city and state that I went to, that's what I would put here. And then in the objective, I would put client meeting, put the client's name, or site visit. You know, I give some little reasoning behind as far as like, why did I go on this trip? And then as you can see here, you can put your start odometer and your start odometer and your end odometer reading. Because now I have to do mine manually, I kind of estimate as far as like how many total miles it would have been for me to do that round trip. And then I just put it in the total distance. That's all I do. Just put that number. If I know it was 75 miles round trip, I would just put 75 miles and the total distance and then hit save. And then basically all I do is that when it comes time, I will print this, download this down, export it to a PDF document, and then hand that over to my bookkeeper so that they can put that in with my tax documents. Okay. Real quick, with this, let me stop this screen share for just one moment. So with this, Tax Mileage RS is also an app that you can get on your phone. And I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. And let me turn my computer around because of the light to kind of hide the light back here so you can see what the button looks like. So if you see that green button here, let's see, right there, that is the tax mileage app that you can utilize. And then I'm going to show this as far as what it will look like. So I have it opened up now. So this is so you can see what it looks like opened up. I'm trying to hide the light so that you can see. So real cool app. I love it. Again, if I was doing this correctly and doing this, don't do like me, like I did at 2019. I was really diligent from last year, and I don't know why it's not showing 2018. Oh, it needs to synchronize because I did a lot. So Yes. So I didn't hit my synchronize button. Sometimes it's a little slow, especially if you do things manually. So I just did synchronize that. So it has all of 2018 listed there. Oh, can you see? It's a little blurry. It's the light. But I do love this. Again, um, utilize this as you go on each and every trip. A good thing about this too, if you don't want to type it in, you can take a picture of your start mileage. So just take a picture of your odometer, and then when you end, take a picture of it, and it just downloads automatically, and it will read it for you. Even if it doesn't read it, and you go back into the computer and you say, oh, why isn't there any mileage? At least you have your pictures, and you will be able to know what your start and your end mileage is, and then you can manually enter it. And another thing too is that your accountant always wants to know what is your start mileage on day one of that year. So because I did not enter anything, how am I going to put a start mileage for 2019? Basically, I'm going to see what the last mileage was that I entered in for 2018. Hopefully it was close to January 1, fluff it up a little bit, and that will be my start mileage for 2019. So that's something that, as a note, that you need to know whenever you're doing your mileage report. Next thing is home base. Home base is what I have been using, and I kind of shared with you guys earlier on this app as far as my team checking in and checking out. So the home base is going to be key. I'm going to use half of the year for that because we didn't use it at the beginning, but it's going to help me to see who did I pay of my quote unquote consultants, associates that are non-employees. Because remember, as a business owner, an employee is basically someone that you're paying benefits for and so forth, when everyone else needs to be a contractor. So any of my contractor employees out there that I have paid $600 or more, I am obligated to give them a 1099. So I have to go in and see who those people are. If they did make over $600 or more with me, I have to supply them with a 1099. And so I use Homebase for that. I'll give you a quick screenshot as far as like what Homebase is. I don't want to really go in it too much because I don't want to show you the payment of what people are making. So let's do a little home base. As you can see, here's all the people that work with me over here to the left. And then on timesheets, what I would do, timesheets is up here at the top, go in to see how much everyone has got paid from the time I started using this, and then add it to my other process that I use to see who did over the $600 mark. And then I know in my mind making record as far as like who those people that I have to supply 1099s to, and that way they will get their 1099 at the beginning of the year, so that way they can prepare their own tax documents. So that's all I wanted to share with you as far as Tara's best business practices. We talked about QuickBooks, how QuickBooks can help you in preparation for tax time, allowing your accountant or your bookkeeper to always have access on the back end so they can reconcile your books. So when it is tax time, all they have to do is hit a button and they're ready to go and ready to prepare your taxes. We talked about mileage, how you can have your mileage and with your mileage. Again, QuickBooks has one, but I use taxmileage.com. Oh, and last but not least, receipts. So I have here, I do pretty good with the receipts. I usually do receipts every quarter. I have my basket of receipts here. And what I do is I scan my receipts. And so with that, I do use an app called Neat. And let me see if I can bring that up for you real quick. Oh, here it is. So let me do a new share for you so that you can see. Oh, I think you have it. Yeah, you do have it. Okay, awesome. So here is what Neat looks like on my computer. So I do scan all of my receipts. And when I am scanning my receipts here, you are able to see that here I went to Home Goods, and at Home Goods, you can see the dollar amount that I spent. Here is my category, the date that it was purchased, what it was purchased with, the sales tax dollar amount, and so forth. And I can slide it over a little bit more so you can see the other columns that are on here that you can add, and then you can also add your notes. But the most important thing is that it is scanning my receipts, which is definitely very, very important. And one of the big things that I do, that whenever I am out purchasing things or even just ordering things online, I am always immediately writing on my receipts what this is for, because later on when I go to scan my receipts, who's going to remember, what happened a week ago or 2 weeks ago by looking at a receipt? So I will patiently hold up the line if I'm in a store and write on my receipts what that was for. Another good thing about this is that with the receipts, is that if the accountant comes back to me and says, hey, Tara, you made a purchase on such and such date, this is the dollar amount, this is where you spent it at, what exactly was this purchase for? So I can go into Neat and here find the date, find the item, and voila, I can click on the line item. My receipt is here. I can look, see what I purchased, and see what I wrote on the receipt to say, hey, this is what I spent on this particular item. So this is why Neat is so good. Also, you do know you shouldn't be carrying stuff in your shoebox because the ink is supposed to erase away. So scan your receipts. Neat is an app on your phone also. So if you're diligent and you have good intentions about being organized, you should scan your receipts as you go along with your purchases. But if not, scan your receipts on a weekly or a monthly basis, so that way it's done, it's out the way. You can throw that paper in the trash, and now you have copies of your receipts. And scanning your receipts is definitely important because you have to have your receipts in case you're ever audited by Uncle Sam. And then number two, it helps when your accountant is going through your transactions and they ask a question as far as like, what was this for? You have documentation. This is like your memory bank for you. Okay, so Neat, N-E-A-T. This is the logo for Neat up here in the far left-hand corner. We have QuickBooks, and we have Tax Mileage RS, and we have Home Base. So these are the things that I'm doing in preparation for Uncle Sam, getting my 2019 documents prepared to get my taxes done at the beginning of 2020. I hope that you have enjoyed these Tara's best business practices. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me by inboxing me via my profile or sending me an email message, and my email address is in the profile. Thank you and have a nice day.